Well, I bet Gould don't even know they've got a fan on the other side of the Atlantic. Derek refused to turn up at the game.
I feel like they couldn't do Vegas without us now. But they won in every department of that game. And there's certainly something psychological going on there. Before we get started, this episode is sponsored by yourclubstash.co.uk, the home of Grassroots Rugby League. If you're looking for Grassroots Rugby League kit for your team or any other stash, get on the website and check the guys out. And also, tell them the Rugby League Outsiders sent you.
So welcome to the Rugby League Outsiders Set of 6, our weekly news show where we share the good, the great and the noteworthy of Rugby League from outside the heartlands. And we want to kick off this week with a Mike Acevo showcase in Viva Las Vegas.
Bosher Rooney, what a game that guy had. Vegas was incredible, wasn't it? Acevo, 4 tries, lit the world stage up. Now, there's a bigger talking point here though, isn't there, with Vegas? Do we keep it? Do we keep going with it?
Oh, but it's the same old question, isn't it? Do we keep going with it?
It's because it comes up every year, that's why.
Why? Why does it keep coming up? Who's doubting it? We had a blowout score, all right? That's not great.
No.
However, the actual concept, I don't think anybody's got a problem with the concept. I don't think anyone's sort of suggesting that we have something better or that it's having some kind of detrimental effect. I don't know why this question keeps cropping up.
Well, it does, because the fans keep bringing it up. Well, no, it's not necessarily fans.
Do you know what it is? It's just an easy talking point for journos. Is it any good for the sport? Yes, it's freaking great for the sport.
I love it anyway. I absolutely love it. Did you watch much of the build-up around Vegas? What were going on?
I saw different clips. I thought Leeds especially did a really good job at like pumping out little clips in the run-up to stuff. I didn't see a great deal of the Hull KR stuff. I felt like they were kind of, down... laying low a little bit, but also they're perhaps not in my algorithm as much as Leeds are. So
I saw plenty of stuff on Mulcahy. It looked, if you look at last year to this year, I think we took more fans this year than we did last year. The Super League crowds, we created a reputation last year with the Wigan fans who were celebrating with the Canberra Raiders fans. That created an immense atmosphere, and I think this year the Hull KR fans and the Leeds fans took it up another notch, and it's got to the point where the talking point now in whether we should keep it, it's like Super League has become an asset now to this Vegas event, whereas I feel like they couldn't do Vegas without us now.
Yeah, because who's going to bring that atmosphere? And that atmosphere, it's all right saying, oh yeah, the Aussies they'll get behind it. Like, that's been nurtured through over 100 years of rugby league, hasn't it?
Yeah.
That kind of chanting, just the way that people conduct themselves, all that kind of stuff. Like, just to create that now, which is alien to them a little bit. They still cheer and stuff like that in the NRL, but they don't kind of, it's not the same way. It's
not quite as abusive as what we do.
That's exactly what it is, isn't it? It's very, like, cuts deep.
Yeah.
So, so the question now is, like, is it any good for Super League? That's not really the question. Like I said, that's a bit of a lazy point, I think. The question is, can it run without a British team in there? Without the British crowd? Yeah,
but there is another point to bring up there. You just said, have you heard how much it costs?
Oh.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how much it costs.
I've heard a figure, and I could be miles off with this. I've heard it's going to cost Leeds in the region of £150,000 to go to Vegas.
No, don't get me wrong. That's a lot of money to find. But what do you expect?
No,
what do you expect?
True, but you got to look at it this way. So you're going to lose a home game.
Yeah.
So you're losing all that revenue, but then you've got a bigger outlay as well. So it can cost quite a lot, and that is one of the issues. I think at the minute there's 2 teams in the running.
Who profits then?
Well, it's not Super League.
No, but that's what I'm saying. So who is profiting? Can we get some money from them?
The NRL are running the event, aren't they? It's NRL run.
Yeah.
We're just sort of tagged along with it.
So do we not get any...
No, we get nothing from it, mate. We're lucky we're there, if in all honesty.
Yeah.
So that is one little issue.
Well, it's a big issue, isn't it?
So I've heard down the grapevine there's 2 teams in the running to be going to Vegas next year. The teams I've heard are St Helens and Hull FC. Don't know if it's true, but that's what I've heard. Neither team wants to give up a home fixture. There's a sticking point at the minute.
Yeah.
Because of that revenue lost. So we need to come up with, well, not us, people in a lot higher places than us. They need to come up with some way of counteracting that, I think.
Yeah, and just like a slack handful of Vegas special edition shirts ain't going to cut it, is it?
No.
But I'm pretty sure the club will be putting on some kind of like travel packages, but that's a lot of money to generate, in it. And plus, you're in a deficit if you're giving up a home game already. So, I don't know. It's just, I didn't really think about that. Yeah. I just thought, a bit like Magic Weekend, that there'd be some kind of central funding that the clubs would be able to tap into.
No, I don't think so. Not that, as far as I'm aware, no.
But then you've got to be thinking like...
But then, let's use that number of £150,000 that Leeds may or may not lose, right? Is it well spent because you've took a lot of fans out there and they'll remember this? Not well spent. Is it worth it because of how you're growing your brand? You're putting it on a bigger stage, aren't you? Do you think it offsets it or not?
Not really, because
like how many new fans are you creating? I think that's the one of the questions, isn't it?
Yeah, but you've got 2 teams taking the hit for the whole Super League, haven't you? Yeah. And I'm wondering if there should be some funding from the Super League or from the RFL.
Somebody made a suggestion.
Not that they've got any, but just
somebody made a suggestion on one of our pages. I can't remember where it was. Somebody put a comment and said, "Why don't the teams that go to Vegas not play in the Magic Weekend?"
Yeah,
and then they get a cut of the Magic Weekend money to help fund the Vegas trip.
I don't like that.
Why?
I think the magic of the Magic Weekend, too many magics, but is the fact that all clubs, bar the French sides this year, are in the same place in the same weekend.
But that's where it works, because we always used to have all the clubs at Magic Weekend. Now we've got too many, haven't we? So they started playing certainly this year, Catalan and Toulouse are playing in France. All you got to do is put Catalan and Toulouse in the Magic Weekend.
But didn't they opt out themselves?
No, that's Challenge Cup.
Right.
You put Catalan and Toulouse in the Magic Weekend, you've still got a full fixture list then, and you remove the 2 teams that are going to Vegas.
But they still get a slice of the Magic Weekend revenue to offset the cost of going to Vegas. Yeah,
that makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, I see that. That's got to be done pretty sharpish, though, isn't it? Because people scramble around for the Magic Weekend tickets. Like this year, we're looking at
selling out, mate.
Sold out.
It's going to be sold out, isn't it?
So if your team's not going to be there, you'd hate the fact that you bought a ticket and then potentially go buy a ticket then to Vegas. So it needs to be done early, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, 100% needs to be done early. But
yeah, no, I think I see that as a solution. Initial thoughts were I didn't want any team to drop out the Magic Weekend. I love the idea that they're all together.
Yeah.
Over the same weekend, same place, and all that kind of stuff. You bring the whole of the league together, all the fans together. But I can see the issue with the finances there, and that is potentially a solution. So anyway, let's keep an eye on it. Back to the actual event this year, we did have a little roving reporter out in Vegas, didn't we? We did a cracking job, by the way.
Chad Cooper is our American, we call him our American correspondent, and he was there, Outsiders top on. He was getting recognised for his Outsiders top. How crazy is that? Well, the other side of the world.
Tell us how Chad got involved in the Outsiders. What is the little bit of a backstory there?
So Chad, He was commenting on our videos, wasn't he, a couple of years ago. Obviously, Outsiders has been going a few years now, and he's always been one of our biggest fans. And I just saw this name come up. It was like USA Rugby League, Rugby Union fan, I think his handle is, something like that. And he was always commenting on our videos. I was like, wow, we've got a fan on the other side of the world. This is crazy. Anyway, we kept in touch, and when I went out to Vegas last year, I met up with Chad at the Vegas Nines. And ever since then, we keep up to date, and literally, we talk rugby league all the time. He's a massive Wakefield Trinity fan. He knows all the rivalries. He knows everything about rugby league. He is a die-hard rugby league fan.
Matty Ashton's brother as well.
He certainly knows him. He's out there. I think Matty Ashton's brothers does like some refereeing out there. Yeah, so he keeps me informed with what's going on with the American teams. He's just a massive rugby league nut. I couldn't go to Vegas this year, gutted. And he was out there mixing it with the fans. He got recognised for his Outsiders top, which is brilliant. He gate crashed every bit of media that was in Vegas. I saw him on The Sportsman. He was dressed as Uncle Sam at the game. He was the first person on the camera shot when the Super League came on. He gate crashed somebody's podcast with Jake Connor without even realising. And he just mixed it with the fans. So here's a quick montage of Chad in Vegas.
Rugby League Outsiders. I found a gem. I've got Luke Shaw with me from Hull. We were just in the bar, and tell him what song was just on.
I think it was a Britney track, actually. Oops, I Did It Again, was it?
Dude, we're sitting here in the bar, we're chatting about league, and then all of a sudden, Britney Spears songs pops up, and it's, oops, I did it again. And what did I say?
It's okay for you this year.
Whole KR. Boys, you got a lot to be proud of this year. The quadruples.
Amazing. 40 years of heart over just like that. And to clinch the win in the Challenge Cup in the dying moments, I think that really catapulted us for the year. And there was such a belief around the group and around the city as well.
And we picked this spot for a reason. We're behind a bunch of Leeds fans. There's another area over here with whole KR fans. Personally, over here, there's a little bit more BO, a bit more stink. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't really believe that, because I'm going to interview some Leeds fans. They're going to say the same thing about you.
Exactly,
all right, I'm going to, and you know who you also owe a lot to as well? A big club. Hull FC.
No chance.
You know why?
No chance.
Who let Jez go and who let Mikey go?
That's the only thing they've done. And they let Dino go. And Jack Brown.
So who do you owe a big thank you to right now? I want to hear it.
Milo Joe.
So can you honestly say, were you a little happy for the city of Hull, or do you hate them that bad that you just wanted to go? You became a Brisbane Broncos fan big time that game, right?
Yeah.
Got it. So today, you're going to be all about the Leeds. Leeds. Rugby League Outsiders, I've got Gary from Brisbane, Australia. So why don't you follow the champions? Because they just keep kicking your ass in the World Club Challenge.
Yes, they did beat the Broncos, I understand that. But, I think pre-season is normally, for us, it's just heading into pre-season. So it's I think they're a bit more relaxed, I think, the Broncos, what they should have been.
Wigan, St. Helens, I'm hearing a lot of excuses coming from you, Gary.
Wigan's and St. Helens.
Past World Club champions I'm talking about.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we remember that now.
I do.
Anyway, coming out from Rugby League Outsiders here, man, your American correspondent. Thanks, Jim. All right. Calling out for Rugby League Outsiders. Oh, one last thing. I told him, hey, I'm doing this for Rugby League Outsiders. And what'd you say, bro?
Said I love the stuff. I always watch the poddy. I also said that they always have extremely measured takes. Just great analysis. Some of the best stuff out there, to be honest. Love it. Bar Round and Outsiders are my go-tos, definitely.
Love to you boys all the way from Vegas. Hope you guys are well. Talk to you later. Rugby League Outsiders.
See you in a bit.
Right, I just want to I know you have a lot more dealings with Chad than I do, but I just want to put out a public thank you to Chad, because he did a cracking job out there, went above and beyond, and not only have we, got like a great ally out there, rugby league in general has got a great ally out there in America. So thank you very much for that, Chad.
Spreading God's word, isn't he? In America, going stateside is like the one-man promotion machine. He's absolutely smashing it. Anyway, I've got a great clip that I want to show you.
Right, not in the montage.
No,
You've kept this separate.
I've kept this separate, right?
Yeah.
It's
does he keep his clothes on?
Yeah, 100% right. Chad, in this clip, he's interviewing another American fan who's also a big rugby league fan. But I want you to see, can you guess which team he supports?
Right, it's going to be
and it's proper out the box, this one is.
Really obscure.
Yeah.
Super League?
No.
Right, Featherstone.
We got it wrong. Anyway, I'm going to play the clip.
Right.
Hey, Rugby League Outsiders. I've got Patrick Brown right now with me from Nashville, Tennessee, and he is a league fan.
Love Rugby League. Love it.
Came up to me, was talking to me, and how good is that? You know, we're trying to grow the numbers out here in America and get more people to follow it. Tell me, how did you get into league?
I got into league. I'm a fireman, and so it comes on here in Nashville at like 2 in the morning. So I came back from a call, a random game was on, we watched it, we really enjoyed it, we didn't know what was going on, so then that led me to want to watch it more. So I watched it the next week, looked up the rules, looking up what's going on, and eventually, like I said, now I watch every NRL game, every Super League game. I love Rugby League, and I feel like it fills that gap in America when there's no contact sports going on. Hockey's over, football's over, it's just baseball. So there's that gap in the summertime that it's a great thing to watch. And if you get on NRL, watch NRL.com, SuperLeague.com, Betfred, Super League, all those things are great to watch. Yeah.
Preach, brother. Hallelujah.
Preach.
So good to meet you, bro, because I'm a Super League fan and an NRL fan, and league is my favorite sport. And to be able to like chat with people is just so amazing, man.
It's an unbelievable sport. The athleticism, the discipline that goes into playing it. Like I said, like I've never played it myself, growing up in America, but like I said, watching it, you can tell. It's just like I said, it's a great sport. Every American should watch it. Everybody should get involved. Everybody should want to come to the games if they're in America. It's just awesome.
Absolutely amazing. Who's your Super League team?
My Super League team is actually Ghoul Vikings. And they're in the League One. They're going up, boys. They're going up. You just wait and see. Once they get promoted, and then they're in the Super League, and then they take it over, everybody's going to remember Pat Brown from Nashville, Tennessee said it first.
How do we clone a million Pat Browns in America?
I wish we could. I'm talking about how would America be?
You know what? We can clone them, but none of them would be as handsome as you, bro.
Ain't no doubt. Ain't no doubt.
Awesome, bro. I'm doing this for Rugby League in America. We got Karl. We got Karl and Craig, and those are the guys that do this every single month, every single week for us. Those guys are the best, bro. Just want to say shout out to you guys, man. Here we are.
Rugby League, boys. Rugby League.
See ya, boys.
Fucking, that is a fake. That is a good old Pat Brown.
Pat Brown from Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Ghoul Vikings fan. Check
Beautiful.
that out, mate. How good is that?
Well, I bet Gould don't even know they've got a fan on the other side of the
Well,
Atlantic.
they do know because I'll be sending that clip to him, mate.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that is epic. And like I said, Chad does some great work. And I know it's only like perhaps a couple of people there, but they clearly, he's probably explained a hole in the market there that nobody's perhaps thought about before. This idea that contact sport finishes when the season ends.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's a sport waiting to fill that void.
Yeah, when the football season's over, it's baseball season, and yeah, if you're not into baseball and you want some contact sport.
Well, who isn't a baseball? It's shite, isn't it?
No, I love baseball.
Oh, I knew you'd say that.
Come off it,
Freaking
man.
knew you'd say that.
Tampa Bay Rays. Shout out to the Rays.
God's
Been a few times.
You just like anything American, don't you?
I just like sport, mate.
Do you like that cheap shite cheese they put on hot dogs and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah.
That's disgusting.
French's.
That's not even cheese, that.
And French's mustard.
Yeah.
It's American mustard. Quality.
Nightmare. Yeah, it's a good effort, Chad.
Reese's Pieces.
I quite like them.
There you go.
The
Yank. Chad, thank you very much, mate. You did a wonderful job of representing Rugby League Outsiders, and I will be there next year. I'm saying it on camera, I will be there next year.
Okay, before we move on to tackle 2, just moving on to the community spotlight, and we just want to put a big Rugby League Outsiders best of luck to Dan Robinson, taking the reins at our local team Telford Raiders as the head coach. So best of luck for the season coming up.
Yeah, he's gone full circle there as Dan Robinson. He used to play rugby union, came in a few years, didn't start playing league, did really well with it. And he's progressed. He played for the Midlands Lionhearts, didn't he? The Midlands side.
He thrived in the sport, didn't he? He did really well.
Great player, and now he's taken up a head coaching role. So what a nice little story that he's from never played the sport to being a head coach.
I'd go I'd go deeper than that. Rugby League saved his life. So go back to our archives, and Dan sort of describes how he had a real problem with addiction and rugby. All right, at the time it weren't rugby league, but literally saved his life. To now take on a role like that is pretty good. So best of luck, Dan, and to everybody at the Telford Raiders. Moving on to tackle 2 then, Karl, and it's that bus stop derby, the fallout from Derek Beaumont's statements this week.
Yeah, so El Busico, it's not catching on, that is it? I keep trying it every year.
I don't know where you've conjured that up from. El Busico. I don't.
Well, you've got the
It's like Mexican, but we're in Leigh.
You've got Real Madrid and Barcelona playing the
Syria League or whatever it is.
Yeah, but that's called the El Clasico.
Oh God,
the El Clasico between Madrid and Barca. So I'm starting the El Busico for Wigan versus Leigh, but no one's catching it. Anyway,
no one's having it.
We spoke about the game quite a lot in our prediction show, haven't we? Leigh got blown out of the water, but I just want to touch on the fall. It's the fallout from what's not going on the field, isn't it? Really. So Derek Beaumont put a statement out. It was literally, I think, 5-10 minutes before kickoff, or certainly an hour before kickoff or something. The fallout from last year is still going on, isn't it, Craig? And you've analysed the statement a little bit. What have you thought about it?
Well, I've pulled out a couple of the main points. Obviously, it all boils down to this ticketing row that they had with Wigan Warriors last year. And all that is on the back of Derek Beaumont and some of the other people around Leigh thinking that their fans were dealt harshly last year.
Yeah.
Whether it's inhumane, unprecedented. They weren't allowed into certain areas. They were turned away if they had club colours on and all this kind of thing. I think there's some information being left out from this statement. But that's kind of the position that they're taking. In fact, they asked for an RFL Rugby League commercial investigation, or sort of to dig into it really, and they came back saying no, everyone's kind of involved in it. There's not a real great deal of a story to tell. This then led to, and so there's obviously that very public spat between Derek Beaumont, Chris Redlinski, you know what I mean, and this ticket gate. In fact, Derek refused to turn up at the game, which he did, and you mentioned it last week actually, saying, will Derek turn up? He didn't. He didn't. Anyway, so Wigan sent them 5,000 tickets this year for this game. Leigh pretty much flat out refused to promote the tickets. In fact, there was 1,450 tickets sold, people that snapped those up. And Derek thanked them for getting them tickets, but they returned the other 3,550.
Yeah.
And unsold, and basically said, until you sort or give us some indication that our fans are not going to get treated like that again, then we ain't going to promote the game. And so that's kind of the fallout from it. And then there was obviously reports.
Opera, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a bit. And the thing is, it's like, I know we want stories in rugby league, and we want all this, and we want rivalries, and there's a real big rivalry forming here, but we don't want tit for tat shite. So you do wonder if Leigh had taken 5,000 fans, would they have been in a much stronger position on game day?
Yeah, that's definitely worth mentioning it, because if you look at the fixture this time and how Leigh performed, and you look at last year when it was full of Leopards fans, and your fans shouldn't determine how you play.
No,
but it definitely has a factor.
Well, players talk about them being the 14th man, right, in our form of the game, and the crowd getting behind you. There's there's a reason why players are there, trying to get the crowd going. They know because the crowd can lift their performance.
Yeah.
And if their performance was flat and they felt intimidated by the legions of Wigan fans that there is there.
Well, there was still 16,000 crowd.
Yeah. Well, it were like 15,000 Wigan fans, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Of course, 15,000 voices are going to outweigh, I wish we could do some kind of Sparta-esque 300 fans, you know what I mean? But it's just not like that. Did it affect their performance on the pitch?
I'm going to say it did.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't say that, and I'm pretty sure Adrian Lamb doesn't agree with me.
He'll discount it, no doubt.
Yeah.
He'll put it down to like a poor performance, move on.
Yeah, but it was evident that they weren't up for that game like Leigh would usually be up for a game, and they looked really flat. And as soon as a couple of tries had gone in, they kind of shut up shop, really, didn't they? And they just didn't perform. I mean, it helps that Wigan were absolutely red hot, and but they won in every department of that game, and there's certainly something psychological going on there.
Yeah, I agree, and I love the fact that Derek Beaumont's got strong principles, as have the rest of the coaching team. By all accounts, they're in exactly the same mindset about this whole situation. But I'd hate for him to die on the sword, when actually they could have just done with those extra fans there.
Yeah, but you know what I'd be doing if I was like RFL commercial? I'd be like, you two in a room, right? Let's get this sorted out.
Charity boxing match.
No. But the next game, right, when these two play, all right, I want Derek doing a voiceover. I want Chris Radlinski doing a voiceover, stood in front of the players. Just build it up, build that rivalry up now. Just go to town with it. Like the two most hated clubs in Super League, and just create a story out of this somehow, and turn that negative into a positive. And I think it could be ace.
Well, but what do you want, Karl? Do you want him to focus on the rugby, or do you want him to dig deeper into the story? Because you've got conflicting views there.
You don't need to dig deeper into the story, but you could imagine there's a narrative you can create around creating a promo video for that. Yeah, you could 100%
Well, I'd love to get your
and I don't think that's quite in Chris Radlinski's style. I don't think you'd see him being on a promo video, pushing hatred towards Leigh. But I think Derek would be up for it. stood in his leopard jacket, Spartans, come on, they can create something around that.
Yeah,
I know it's completely ridiculous but that's what I'd like to see.
What's your take on it? So, when you think about this, do you think it did have an effect on Leigh's game? Do you want to see more of this public stuff going on, or these things going on in public, or what? Just, get in the comments. Let us know what happens, because or what you think, because it's up in the air as to whether it affected them or not. All I know is that Leigh were flat, Wigan were red hot, and they could have done with an extra few thousand fans there to help.
Wigan had already poked the bear, hadn't they?
Why?
With the buses that they were going around the town, and it said just a bus stop in Wigan, with the players, they'd already poked the bear, definitely.
Yeah. Wigan are going to have a great season. You heard it here. It's they are brilliant. This red hot this year.
Yeah,
looking brilliant. Right, so should we move on?
Yes.
Okay, let's move on to tackle 3, and we were very fortunate that we managed to witness and capture the Barley National Cup draw.
Yeah, well, there's more to that. Should we talk about the whole day?
Yeah, let's do it.
So we've kind of got working in partnership with the Rugby Football League. We're helping to promote the national leagues within the sport. I'll get our little board out here, Craig. I don't know if you can see this on camera.
Which you nicked.
No, I got given it.
No, you nicked that. You
I didn't.
Getting a bit of a name for yourself. Wherever you go, you end up with a load of stash.
I got given it.
Now you've nicked the board.
So yeah, the National League's Media Day in partnership with the Rugby League Outsiders. So let's talk about the concept of the video that we put together first.
Well, the concept of the video was quite simple. We were given quite a few restrictions, really. Like the room was looking to be like a back room. We couldn't control the lighting. We had a real quick turnaround time on this. And, there were lots and lots of restrictions. So we were like, what the hell are we going to do here? We wanted to do something really creative. Loads of lights, fireworks, lasers, smoke and all this kind of stuff. We're like, we can't do that. We ain't doing that. So we thought, right, we'll flip it and we'll use the constraints to our advantage. And we just thought the narrative is that the national leagues have just been kept in the box for far too long. They don't get the coverage that they need. There is some epic rugby, some epic battles and some big rivalries in those leagues. And they need to be brought out and shared to the world, because they are our grassroots. And without roots, even the largest trees are weak. You know what I mean? We need strong community game in order for the Super League and everything else below it to thrive. So the idea was that the national leagues are breaking out of this box. We built a big box.
Yeah, off-site, didn't we? Yeah.
We built a big box off-site, took it fit just. Okay, we set up a bit of lighting. It was a nightmare. hopefully none of the behind the scenes footage will get leaked out, because we will end up like getting locked up by the health and safety police. But anyway, we made it work, and the players turned up. They were brilliant, Karl, weren't they? Brilliant sense of humour. They just took it all in.
Yeah, and what I really took away from this was that we don't, as a sport, we probably don't do enough of this, like promoting the game at grassroots rugby and like making the players feel like stars. It certainly, when some of the players I spoke to took a lot away from the day, because it kind of made them feel like a little bit special. So yeah, they're coming and they're doing like a photo shoot, and then they're at
the Rugby League headquarters to start with.
Yeah,
not many people.
That's a privilege, just being able to go there, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, and then obviously, then you got to talk to a couple of different podcasters, the radio. Ben Thaler was there, like giving up his time to chat to people, and then obviously the draw was taking place, and then you had us two idiots taking pictures and videos of you as well. So it was just a great event. Standout players, Karl? Any that stood out to you?
There was a lad from Brighouse.
Matty from Brighouse.
Yeah, he
absolutely mental, wasn't he?
Yeah. He has been in Ackley Bridge though, so apparently.
He was in Ackley Bridge.
So he told us.
He started off and he was a bit cheeky and a bit funny, wasn't he? And thought, it's going to be a belter, this, from Brighouse. And obviously I grew up, one of the places I lived as a kid was Brighouse. Yeah. So a bit of allegiance to Brighouse Rangers, although I never played there. I know you won't believe that, but I never played there.
One of the clubs you haven't played at.
Yeah, and it was just funny. He started and goes, oh God, this is... it's a bit like Naked Attraction, this. And then it was like, I got Rear of the Year, like 1996 or something like that. And so it was just great.
No, the best part about it was...
Yeah.
He was doing the promo video for Brighouse, so he's like Brighouse's representative.
They didn't even know they were there.
He hasn't been training this year, and they don't even know he were there. So the first that they're going to find out that Brighouse is playing for Brighouse this year is when he turns up on this promo video. Which is a bit mental anyway.
So we've said to him, you've got to send, whatever chat goes down on WhatsApp, you've got to send us a screenshot of the chat to see how it goes down. Yeah, so we've picked out a bit of footage from the draw, which you can see here now.
Number 35.
Number 35, 4-0 Trojans from the Yorkshire Conference.
Number 28.
Will play Pilkington Rex from the National League One.
Number 13.
Number 13, Hammersmith Hillhoist from the Southern Conference.
Number 43.
43 will be from the qualifying round of Alton Raiders versus Bentley.
Number 29.
29, Rochdale Mayfield from the National Premier.
Number 19.
Will play Leigh East from the Northwest Conference.
Number 37.
Number 37, West Hull, the holders of the National Conference.
33.
Will play Stanley Rangers from the Yorkshire Conference.
Number 14.
Will play Hensingham from the Cumbrian Conference.
44.
Will play the qualifying round of Featherstone Lions versus Oldham St Anne's.
Number 2.
Number 2, Barrow Island from Barrow, believe it or not.
42.
Will play the winners of Hunslet and Wathbrow Hornets.
Number 26.
26, Oral St James, last year's winners in the National Cup. Will play
Number 1.
number 1, Ashton Bears from the Northwest Conference.
Good rivalry. Number 22.
22, Millen from the Cumbrian Conference.
Number 45.
Will play the winners of Mole Green versus Plateau Heath.
Number 9.
Number 9, Dissington from the Cumbrian Conference.
Number 38.
will play Woolston Rovers.
Number 5.
Brentwood Eels, Essex. This is a nice journey for somebody.
Number 32.
Will play Stainland Stags.
Number 24.
Normanton Knights from the Yorkshire Conference.
Number 40.
Will play the winners of Ellenborough versus Siddle from the qualifying round.
Number 16.
Number 16, Hull Dockers from the Yorkshire Conference.
Number 15.
Will play Heworth, the newly promoted National Premier side.
Number 21.
Milford from the Yorkshire Conference.
Number 20.
Will play Leigh Miners from the National League One.
Number 41.
The winners of Instrose Bridge and Clockface Miners, St Helens.
Number 4.
Will play Blackbrook, which could turn out to be a nice juicy local derby.
Number 12.
Fryston Warriors from Castleford.
Number 8.
Will play, when it stops running round, Crossfields from the North West Conference.
Number 31.
Skirlow, who also at this minute in time are in Vegas.
Number 6.
And finally, Bristol All Golds. Thank you. That completes the draw.
Okay, so a couple of fixtures that I want to pull out. By the way, I did a little bit of I whacked the results of the draw, which has been running since like the 70s, mid 70s.
Yeah,
and I put it into our friendly AI,
Yeah.
And I basically said, analyze this and come up with it. Is there any patterns in this? Is there any like things that are going on? And he said,
This is the Barla National Cup.
the Barla National Cup, yeah. So, which is currently held by Oral St James. But it basically said the National Cup doesn't belong to one club. Like, no one club has dominated the cup, which is great.
Yeah.
What it says is it belongs to different regions and it comes in like an 8-year flow. So one time Hull may have it,
Yeah.
right, and they dominate for a couple of years, and then it goes to like, perhaps the Northwest, and they'll kind of dominate the St Helens clubs and that kind of thing, the Wigan clubs, and then it'll go back to Yorkshire clubs, and then back to Hull, and maybe up to Cumbria. You know what I mean? And it goes in these cycles. Which is maybe it's an indication of funding. I don't know what the reasons for those are, but just understanding that there is those cycles could be quite good for teams because they can see where they are and go, right, okay, we've got a cup coming. Karl, you played in this final, didn't you?
Well, I believe I did.
Right. You got knocked out as per usual.
I remember playing in a National Cup final because it was played at Featherstone and we played against Featherstone Lions. But yet when I've gone through the records, I can't seem to find that it took place. Or maybe it was a Yorkshire Cup final. But I don't know. But I thought I played in the National Cup final. I certainly played in the National League at the top division.
Yeah.
But maybe it was a Yorkshire Cup final that year. I can't remember.
Okay, so in 2023, Thatto Heath won the Cup with Oral St James runners-up. 2024-25 season, Oral St James came out as victors and they were playing Brighouse, who won 54-0, so an absolute shed in there. And Brighouse have actually opted out of the... they haven't opted out, but they haven't opted into the Cup this year, despite being kind of runners-up last year. A couple of things that I want to pick out. Obviously, we talk a lot about Siddle being quite close to us. They're playing Ellenborough Rangers in the preliminary round. A couple of things, Ince Rose Bridge playing Clockface Miners, which will be a great little game. Hunslet RLFC, Wathbury Hornets.
Hunslet, who've just been to Vegas.
Thatto Heath will be playing Moll Green at Moll Green. Now, they didn't even know really where Moll Green was, so it can be pretty bleak up there. But I'm sure that's going to be, those Start or Heath players were massive, weren't they?
Well,
As amateur players,
right, I'll just say this: when we were building the box,
and it was like 7 foot tall.
Craig was stood in it, and he went, "I think we made it too big."
Yeah,
he says, they get lost in this. I was like, "Yeah, because we're like 4.5 foot." when these players started turning up like 6.5 foot, it was like, no. All of a sudden, the box only just looks big enough. Anyway,
yeah. So that'll be a great fixture. And then who else do you want to kind of pull out?
Weren't Brentwood Eels in the draw? There was one
Brentwood
of the southern
there,
one of the southern teams was definitely in the draw.
Yeah, so the southern team to mention then is obviously Brentwood Eels, and they'll be playing Stayland Stags. So you got an Essex team there playing heart of the
Where are they
Stayland near Halifax.
Oh, right, that in between Halifax and Huddersfield.
Yeah,
right.
Stayland Stags. So that'd be good. That'd be a good game to go to. Actually, that'd be a great game to go to.
Well, if we're about,
right. Okay, so that was the draw. By the way, when's the promo dropping? Then do you think?
It's got to go
yesterday. Going out yesterday.
Yeah, Saturday, Sunday, ready for they're a week and a half away from the National League's kicking off. So ideally, we've got to get it finished by this sort of Sunday, Monday.
Right. What's your prediction on that?
It'll be done, mate. Right. I know a good editor.
All right. Okay, so that's the end of that tackle. Just as a bit of an interim, we've got the shirt of the week, Karl. So just want to talk to us about the shirt of the week that you've managed to schnaffle from somewhere.
So the shirt of the week this week is a Tri-Tag Rugby. That is a Great Britain. I think it's probably one of the coaches' polos or something like that,
right?
Which has been supplied by Tri-Tag Rugby.
Supplied? Is that what we call? Didn't you just?
I didn't.
I turned around, you had your head in their locker, and you were just filling a tote bag. I never ever want to hear, tote bag mentioned on this show again. But you basically walked out with bags and bags of stuff, didn't you?
No,
you did.
There might have been a couple of rugby balls and a couple of bottles and a few medals and a few tags and a few other bits, but yeah, it was modest.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, so that is the shirt of the week this week. If you want to get your shirt in the locker, get in touch with us and we'll see what we can do.
Brilliant. Okay, so we just want to showcase some of the colours and the shirts out there, and
in the Rugby League world.
Very privileged to have a Great Britain top there as well. So, right, moving on to tackle 4 then, and so viewers mailbag picked out a couple of comments. First of all, Mark Brady 95-94. If it was weighted on on-field performance a few years ago, KR would have been kicked out. It takes time to build. So what's the context behind that comment?
That's following on from our conversation that we had last week, how the IMG grading may be changing and have a little bit more on-field performance weighting towards it. So that's what he's commenting on there. So yeah, it makes a great point, doesn't it? If it had been more on-field performance, would Hull KR still be in Super League? And there's a big detrimental effect there, isn't there? It won't be world champions and all the rest of it from there. They could have lost their spot in Super League. So kind of what he's saying is teams need that time to build. And the points other than on-field performance are equally more important.
Were there a period like a few years ago where like Leicester won the league from like nowhere?
Leicester?
Yeah, Leicester. And like nobody saw it coming.
Are you talking about rugby union?
No. I'm talking about football.
That. Yeah.
So and then they just dropped off again.
Yeah.
Is that what Hull KR are going to do this year?
No.
They might do, mate.
No, the team's too strong.
Yeah. All right, I agree. I just try to stir it up a little bit.
Yeah.
There, but
who's the rugby league equivalent of Jamie Vardy then? The list, by the way, my football knowledge is bad. That's probably as far as it goes.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't even answer that.
Yeah, exactly. Rubbish.
Right. Let's move on to the next comment, and this aged really well.
Go back to that. Actually,
right, go on.
Do you think he's got a point? I want to hear your opinion.
Well, there's a bit of a conflicting thing there. So he's like, if it goes to on-field performance, it takes time to build. But Hull KR was just like a stratospheric rise to the top, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that's what they're.
I mean, they nearly got relegated, didn't they?
Yeah, no, yeah, that's what I'm saying. A few years ago, they were facing relegation, and then now the old all four trophies. So yeah, it does take time, It should take time, but it didn't. It didn't take time. You know what I mean? It was very, very rapid, really. But that being said, the grading is the grading, isn't it? So
yeah. I mean, we're both pretty big fans of the grading, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
and you could. Well, we had it actually last year, I think, when the IMG the gradings was dropped and it was brought in, and there was those teams, weren't there? That in fact, Bradford was one of them actually, where over the 3 years there was relatively weak, albeit that had a strong first year with the IMG gradings. Was it Bradford?
No. Bradford were quite consistent over the 3 years. I think it were. I think the gradings quite helped to lose quite a bit.
Yeah,
because
they'd had a strong 3 years.
No, they went and picked up they ended up winning the championship, didn't they, last year? So they picked up those extra points from winning the championship at the end of the season, and that might have swayed it one way or another. I don't know. Essentially, the top 3 teams in the championship all ended up in Super League, didn't they? And that's that, really.
Yeah.
So what you can say is that they were the strongest off field with the gradings, and they were the 3 strongest. They were the 3 strongest teams on the field as well. So
it worked.
Yeah, it did work. Yeah.
Yeah. Right, okay, let's move on then. Rob Parkey, World Club Challenge hangover is nonsense. That squad now is top tier and we're full of confidence. Hull KR for the win. Ooh. Oh. In the words of many of our commenters on this channel, that didn't age well, did it? So
no.
Yeah, so obviously this was on the back of our prediction show last week, where I was talking a lot about like the compounding effect of, you know, starting the Super League, the World Club Challenge, the fatigue that they got from that, plus the travel out to Las Vegas. Is this going to have some kind of hangover type effect on their performance? It clearly did.
Yes, it did, didn't it? I mean, we have spoken about this in our prediction show this week, but yeah, the Hull KR looked absolutely shattered. I wonder if they could have done things differently though. Still win the World Club Challenge, but could they have handled the week better?
I don't think they'd run this again. If they could turn back time, I don't think they'd either commit to Vegas or commit to the World Club Challenge, because I think it was way too much. Well, and it shouldn't be allowed again in the future.
Come off it, man.
No, I'm serious. If there's a club that's in the running for either for Vegas and they win the league, something's got to be done there.
Well, so you're just getting rid of World Club Challenge?
No, well, you
are, because because if you're playing,
it nearly didn't happen.
Yeah, well, no, it didn't. Because you've got to commit to Vegas almost 12 months before, aren't you?
Yeah.
Right. So if you commit to Vegas and then you end up going and winning everything like Hull KR did, are you just saying, well, we're not having World Club Challenge?
Or you drop out of Vegas?
We can't drop out of Vegas, can you, when people have bought the flights and...
But what I'm saying is that they shouldn't be allowed, because we've also got to think about like player welfare here as well. I know it's a bit of a like a catch-all, but you know what I mean? That like the fatigue that they've been put under, and they've got a massive period off now before the next game, which they play on Saturday, don't they?
Yeah.
And so they
Sunday.
Yeah, they play Sunday this week, so
right.
they've had a bit of downtime. But it was the middle of the night they played. You know what I mean? So all I'm saying is, like, I don't think it was the best showcase of Hull KR. And we needed a strong Hull KR.
No, it won't.
You know, so therefore, should it be allowed to happen again? And it's hard because you can't predict who's going to win the league and all that kind of stuff. But I think there should have been a very grown-up decision there. And if it meant like giving up, because we was close to not having the World Club Challenge this year.
Yeah, it almost didn't happen, didn't it? I don't think it were actually on the cards originally.
No, it weren't.
I think Hull KR pushed for it.
Well, this is what I'm saying. So did that bite them on the arse?
Well, it did, didn't it? We're looking back now, it did, yeah.
And that's my point. My point is, I don't think they'd be pushing for it if we could roll back time.
Maybe if they're just not done as much media and stuff like that on the run up to the game.
But it's all about the media, innit? We can look at some of our videos which would normally do really well. those views are down, and the rugby league audience just had a thirst for Vegas content.
Yeah, true.
And that's the train that they're on. It's the reason why they go, because they put themselves on the highest platform, for the sport globally, and so that's part and parcel of it. So I think if you commit to Vegas, you commit to those appointments, and whether you could shield some players or what, I don't know.
One thing I like when this argument comes up, it comes up from the Australian fans quite a lot, is why don't we have the World Club Challenge at the end of the year? Like after both grand finals, I think last year the NRL and Super League grand finals were the same weekend. They were a day apart. So could we not have the World Club Challenge after that?
I think squads are very different, aren't they, by that time of year?
But that's a true reflection of it, though. Then, isn't it? Like because you win the Super League one year, right, and then by the time the next year comes around, when we have the World Club Challenge at the start of the year,
sometimes you got new coaches, new players.
It's not even the same team that won the Super League or won the NRL, so it kind of that don't work out either, really. So the World Club Challenge would be nice to have it at the end of the year, and make that into some massive event.
But then do you forgo one of the internationals? There's a lot of big games at the back end of the year, then, isn't there?
There is, yeah. Can you run internationals at the same time that you're running a World Club Challenge game? It might be to the detriment of England, but you could do it.
Yeah, I think Aussies would be a bit stronger than.
Yeah, Aussies got a lot more strength in depth, haven't they?
Yeah, all interesting talking points from one comment.
Sorted that out, haven't we?
Yeah, sorted that right out. So there you go. World Club Challenge hangover is nonsense. Right, Mr. Austin. So Mark Austin, obviously one of the. In fact, you're doing a championship show this week.
Mark is does the championship show with me, and we've got one coming this week. Yeah.
So he said when he heard De Beau were doing Widnes's kit, he imagined a Derek special, something really wild, excuse the pun, just not rugby league, but I really like what we have. The digital makeup of the leisure wear looked off, but they actually look really smart in the flesh. I like the bold styles that Elgrin produce, but not keen on the feel of their replicas. There's another part to the comment, but let's tackle that first of all. So
this is on the back of we were asked about the kits last week, isn't it?
Yeah, who do we think the best kit suppliers are in rugby league? And obviously De Beau got mentioned, and they're doing the Widnes kit.
I think the Widnes stuff looks pretty sharp, actually, to be honest with you. That's all I've got to say about that. Looks good.
Right. You want a tight deadline? You want to get out of the office, or?
No.
Is that all you're going to say?
Well, go on.
So you picked out this comment, and that's all you're going to say, two words?
I thought I was going to hand it back to you.
Right. Well, I think it's a very fair. I like hearing from fans' point of view on their kit. Because we rate the shirts, but it's your opinion, isn't it? And everyone's got a different opinion.
Well, it's more than designing it as well, really. It's like the feel, the quality, material, and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
Time scales, everything else that goes in with it.
Well, Mark mentions that the feel of the replica shirts that Elgrin do. He don't like it. So whether it's obviously a quality, like a quality. Problem, isn't it? So, yeah. But yeah, all good stuff from De Beau. So, fair enough. He did say on the topic of pre-match lighting, I'm thinking Derek won't like to be outdone and will be getting creative.
Yeah, so this is when we were talking about the lighting shows before the game, and there is a few clubs now. We hold Leigh at the top of the table for the entertainment light show. There is a few clubs now.
Warrington.
Challengers, aren't there? Yeah, challengers.
Well, what is expected at a game now is fireworks and big freaking flamethrowers.
100%.
And all that.
Yeah.
So you can feel the heat in the media box. You know what I mean? That's my measure of a good firework. I can feel the heat on my face. So and that's just like an expected now.
Yeah.
People just want to see that. Do you think there's a place in the pre-match build-up for a wire flyer, for a kicking competition, for like a Zorb race or something like that?
Yeah, I think so. It's just nice to see clubs doing different things, really, isn't it? I think they've all just gone, right, lights and smoke now.
Since the introduction of Timu.
Yeah. What else can you do, though? What else can we bring to the party? I don't know. Yeah, but Bradford have got the track around, haven't they? So they brought the parade back for the younger players. If we can get like youngsters involved. I mean, live bands. Leigh do the live bands excellent, don't they? Warrington had a live band on at the start of the year, so it's all good stuff, really. It's just all about making it. It's more about it's not just about the rugby, is it?
Yeah, and especially as the weather kind of starts to improve as well. You know what I mean? Like even we had a bit of, there was this strange like golden light in the sky yesterday.
Oh yeah, there was
like,
one
what
there.
the freaking hell is that? But it feels nice on my face, you know. So as the weather improves, it's good to have a bit more than just the rugby on the pitch as well.
Yeah.
For everybody, you know what I mean? That's going, kids as well. Tackle 5 then, Karl, unless you've got some kind of announcement.
Let's move on.
Okay, moving on to Tackle 5 then, and we want to announce a brand new partnership with Try Tag Rugby,
There you go.
as demonstrated there by Karl
That
there.
is actually a tag as well.
That's an actual...
Yeah. Oh,
Whoa, what the fucking hell, snappy.
You're going to be no good at this.
Okay, let me just, whilst the graphic's playing on the screen then, Try Tag Rugby is one of the UK's fastest growing social sports, offering a fun, non-contact version of rugby that's perfect for fitness, well-being and community. Played in a 7-a-side mixed men's, women's or vets leagues, it's accessible to all abilities. No previous experience or training required, making it easy to fit into a busy lifestyle. The game helps players stay active, build cardiovascular fitness and develop core rugby skills in a supportive environment. Beyond the physical benefits, Tritag Rugby is celebrated for its positive impact on mental health and social connection, offering a welcoming community where people meet new friends, enjoy weekly team sport and strengthen local networks. It also runs free taster sessions and weekend tournaments, encouraging even more people to give rugby-style sport a go.
Yeah, so our partnership with Tritag Rugby, right, what is it going to actually entail, Craig? We're going to be doing various different bits and bobs, aren't we?
Let me pull this back. So we went for a meeting in London with the headquarters of Tritag Rugby, which first and foremost is a much bigger organisation than I understood it to be. They've got real solid foundations. It obviously came across from, down under a number of years ago.
OzTag, I think it was called
Yeah,
originally.
it was called OzTag, which is really, really... Everybody plays OzTag, in Oz. And, they kind of brought it across. And my big takeaway is two things. First of all, because it's a rugby-style sport and anyone can give it a go at all levels, it is often more than just a kickabout in a park, or an extension to training at a rugby club. These are real communities that support people, and when talking about mental health and stuff like that, sometimes people just need something to get out of bed for, or something, to get out and socialise from. And I definitely got the feel that that's what this provides, which is brilliant.
Yeah, well, a lot of the leagues and that the mixed leagues out there, and I think that really helps.
You've got to have a certain amount of female players, which is fantastic. The other thing that I got from this was it's different to like your touch rugby that you run at training.
Because it's properly organised. This is
it's proper. There's no, you can't get touched and then run another 10 metres further forward. You know what I mean? And just that starts to blur the rules a little bit. There is kicking in Tritag Rugby, so and although it is rugby style, they do kind of see it as a different sport to rugby league. Because I asked the crew down there at the HQ and basically said, have you got loads of like ex-players, retired players playing and that? Not as many as you would think.
Yeah.
A lot of people come as like an absolute introduction to rugby, and they've never played rugby before. So that was brilliant.
So these tags are actually, I'm trying to I'm probably explaining the basics here, but these are attached to the side of your shorts, aren't you? So to make a tackle, bosh, pull the tag off, and that's how you that's how you do a tackle in tag rugby. Pretty simple stuff, but it's effective and it works, doesn't it? Yeah,
it does. And they do run these tournaments throughout the different regions, and then it all culminates into like a national tournament at the end of the year. They have like a festival style tournament mid-year.
There's various festivals that take place all over the country. We're going to be going to one of the festivals. We're going to be doing one of our From the Outside In videos, so can't wait for that. That'll be all Hawaiian shirts and hot dogs, beer, music. Sounds right up my street, that does.
Bucket hats, no doubt.
Bucket hats.
Would you wear a bucket hat, Karl?
I haven't worn a bucket hat for a long time, but do you know what? With the right design, the right design.
There is no right design of a bucket hat, is there?
I tell you
They're
what,
intentionally shit.
But our partners Pavida did do bucket hats. So I tell you what, I'm going to lay the gauntlet down to those guys if they're watching. We want some Outsiders bucket hats and Hawaiian shirts. See what they come up with.
Right. Okay. I'm excited.
So yeah, we'll be there with our bucket hats on.
Yeah. So we will be talking a little bit about try tag rugby. If there is anybody that plays, please get in the comments. Let us know. Give us an indication of how many try tag players are in this community, because we will be sharing some of the news and highlighting some of the players and the major stories from that sport.
Yeah. And when we get to September, we are going to be live streaming the Tri-Tag Nationals 2026, the tournament at the end of the year, the big tournament. We're going to be live streaming it across our channels and across the Tri-Tag Rugby channel, so you better watch it as a culmination of the season comes together. Right,
so thank you very much for to try tag rugby for the opportunity. Moving on to tackle 6, the final tackle then, and the Williams Weekly. I've got to talk about this press release or these comments made by Peter Ferlandis, who's talking about, when he was asked by James Graham and a couple of other people, are you going to invest in Super League? Are you going to? And he basically said, I want to, but if I'm going to do, there's 2 things. I need to have total control, and it needs to happen within the next 3 months.
Oof. Right.
So there's a tight deadline. The RFL, in the past, although in recent times, they have moved pretty quick on some things. They've not moved relatively fast. And I'm wondering if this boat is going to sail before we even give it a chance of running.
Yeah, I mean, the next TV deals are so important, aren't they, for both sports? And I think that the NRL TV deal especially is going to sounds like he's going to be absolutely massive. So,
well, the best is what Peter Ferlandis is saying. He's saying that there is no better TV deal to be had. This is why, if it doesn't happen in the next 3 months, it won't happen.
Do you know what I've taken out of the last couple of months is that, well, I knew it anyway, but like sport's really global, isn't it? And I don't think you can no longer just focus on your own country to promote your sport. Vegas tells us that, to the fact that people on the other side of the world watch this show. It's the world feels a lot smaller these days, so I think if you can have a TV deal that includes the NRL and Super League, and we can get people from all over the world watching it, it's going to be a massive positive for the sport.
It hasn't, but what you're beholden to there is not only has the sport got to be a great showcase of what's going on.
It is already, so tick.
Yeah, but the presentation of it's got to be top dollar.
Yeah,
and BBC, Sky Sport, even Vegas, there was hiccups.
Yeah,
so the average fan there.
Fox made some problems. They had some microphone problems and all sorts going on.
It just looks a bit tin pot, and I know they've got the problems of like broadcasting it live and all that kind of stuff. But it's got to be a great deal, is what I'm saying. What he also said, and this is the bit that really cuts deep. He said that the way that Super League, the way it is at the moment, is heading for a train crash if there's not some new investment. So that cuts deep for the British game.
Do you agree with that? I spoke about this last week.
Well, I think
that's a comment coming from somebody who's potentially wants to get a good deal on buying a sport or an organisation.
No,
that's
but he's not buying an organisation, though, is he? This is a thing. What he's buying is a series of clubs. And this is when he's talking about like ultimate control. He's not just talking about I want control of the RFL. He wants control of the clubs.
No, but
he wants the clubs to trust a board of directors of the sport to run it and to make it, to make it epic. That's so, and that's the issue. Is like he's getting all these clubs. They've got their own interest at heart. Of course they have. Yeah. This is why teams are saying, right, I'll go to Vegas, but I don't want to give a home. Own interest at heart. It's tough, and I think James Graham said it as well. Like they've got to make some very tough decisions in the interest of the sport, and I think that's what he means by if that doesn't happen, we're always going to have loads of people working really hard, but all paddling in different directions. He wants to bring it all together so that we get the full compounding effect. There's that word again of all the clubs, in the league heading in the same direction.
Yeah,
it's a tough one, isn't it?
It is.
And what's tough as well is you and I, we have like tradition running through our blood as well, as every rugby league fan does.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Your club tradition, the tradition of the sport runs deep in all of us. You know, we're on the precipice of handing that over, saying, yeah, do whatever you want. Do whatever you want.
Well, I think you look at Peter V'landis' track record, it's pretty damn good. So, I mean, why not? Why not?
So what do you mean, why not?
Yeah,
what are you saying then? So what do you think all these clubs should hand all the power over to?
Yeah.
Let's call it our RFL commercial or whatever.
Or NRL commercial or whatever. Yeah, I do. And I think so that there isn't self-interest there. Because from what I've seen of these guys that are running the NRL, it's a different story. I mean, it's a different country and totally different lie of the land and everything, but they've done a pretty damn good job. They've made the NRL global. So, yeah. I
think most people's problem is that the NRL don't just cherry pick the best and then just ditch the rest.
No, and that's the obviously.
But that's what will happen. It will.
Why?
Because they'll cherry pick the best or do it on a regional basis or whatever, and anything that doesn't fit that mould, you're dropping down your grassroots and you'll probably never get the chance again. Because there'll be a franchise. There'll be a franchise set up in a geographical area.
So what you're saying is, we the championship as we know it, Championship League One teams as we know it. Well, they're semi-pro anyway, but you think maybe that'll just become an amateur?
No, I think there's still a commercial interest there. I think they can still, but I think it'd be like you're getting a bit of boot money, you're getting a bit of travel expenses. You know, that's what we're talking about. I mean, it's a devil in the deep blue sea type question, isn't it? And what I think this is what's going to drag it out, any kind of negotiation, is that you know, you've got to be prepared to literally roll over for a tummy tickle, and whatever comes, suck it up, because that's what you've asked for. And I don't think we do that well as a sport. And you could probably you could argue it both sides, both ways.
Yeah,
I'm in the air, mate. As I sit here, right, you seem to be like all for it. Let's go. I'm like, I don't know, and I think I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of all the other fans out there, the Featherstone fans, the Halifax fans, who've been thrown a bit of a lifeline, by the way, in the last week. You know, and clubs with rich heritage that may...
Yeah, we'll never see promotion and relegation again. Well, we don't know.
You don't know. You don't know.
We're just sort of...
We're just spitballing.
We're looking at how the NRL model runs, and we're going, well, if they bring that over here, that's what Super League's going to look like.
What there will be, though, there will obviously be a core, maybe even 2 or 3 West Yorkshire teams. There'll be a core, you know, Lancashire teams. There'll be, although we could argue there's no Lancashire team. But we'll get into that argument again.
Don't start that again.
A Hull team, a Cumbrian team, you know, a Southern team. You know what I mean? Like a Scottish team, whatever, you know. So, yeah, it's exciting times, but 3 months doesn't seem long enough to cut it.
Well, it's a long time to have a chat around a boardroom.
I don't know, mate. By the time you've gone out, you've polled fans, you've polled clubs, you've spoke to owners, you know what I mean? It'll soon pass. We're in March already this year. You know what I mean?
I know. Well, how did that happen? Anyway, waffling.
Right, so as always, thank you for joining us for the set of 6. If you haven't checked out our prediction video, it's on the channel already. We talk about all the games from last week and all the games that are coming up this week. By the way, we've got our own little predictor league going, and I'm getting my absolute arse kicked after an administrative error. Karl, you're doing all right though.
I'm making my push for top 20 in next week or 2.
Yeah, well, I hope you get there. So,
one of us has got to have a reputation for knowing what we're on about.
No, but I don't think our score. I mean, I got 6 from 7 last week.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
Right, but the week before I didn't submit any predictions.
I know. keep going on about it.
Well, that's my little thing. Anyway, any final afterburners, Karl?
No, I tell you what we have got on the channel, which needs some love. The Challenge Cup Challenge, latest episode. We went to Colwyn Bay for the second time, and we met up with the North Wales Crusaders fans. There's a story in that episode. Go and check it out. They travel from Wrexham every week. It's such a dedicated bunch of supporters, and that video deserves some love, so go and find it. In fact, we'll put it on at the end of this video.